Hey, what's up, guys, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of College Ball with J-Dog. Before we get into it, y'all know what to do. Y'all been slacking, so do it for me. If you're a Vol fan, you have no reason not to. If you're a fan of anybody, you have no reason not to. Hit that thumbs up for me. Give me a thumbs up. Hit that bell. Go up, hit all. Help you get my videos. Don't cost you nothing. Just helps me out. It's free. Don't affect you in any way. Just helps me out. So I appreciate you if you've already done it. If you ain't done it, please do that for me. I got a quick little show lined up for y'all today. We got Pavia. He's planning to sue for a 7th year. Apparently, the move now, if you're a lower guy, is go JUCO for a year or two and then get you 5 more years in Division I ball. Because that seems to be what it's looking like is going to happen. We got my top 5 preseason players that were underrated by the media. Yesterday I did my top 5 that was overrated. If you want to see those, go check out yesterday's video. We got NBC's quarterback confidence meter. I'm not a big fan. And we got the Vols losing the receiver for weeks, probably a month or so. We'll go over that. Also, got to give a quick shout out to my lady Vols on the way out the door. I'll tell you why as we get going in this video. Can't get my hat straight. That's a little better. First thing, y'all, Diego Pavia. This man is literally suing for a 7th year, more than likely. He ain't done it yet. Here it is. Vanderbilt quarterback Diego Pavia is set to challenge the NCAA for a potential 7th year of eligibility. Pavia was granted a preliminary injunction against the NCAA on December 2024, allowing him to play a 6th year, arguing the NCAA redshirt rule involving JUCO eligibility violates antitrust law. Pavia's attorney said that unless the rules are not found to subject to antitrust, they will challenge the redshirt rule to ask for an injunction so Pavia can play in 2026 as well. Y'all, this is getting ridiculous. You shouldn't be able to make a damn career out of being a college football player. I don't care if you went to JUCO. I don't care what you did. You should get 5 years. Your redshirt year plus your 4. Why can all Division II players get it? Hell, if JUCO players get it, give it to Division II players. Give it to HBC players. Give it to Group of 5 players. They're not making that money either. So basically, you should give it to everybody that didn't get to play Power 5 ball. Or hell, not even just Power 5 ball. Say you played at Northwestern. Well, hell, you ain't making no money there. So you should be able to sue if you hit the transfer portal and Tennessee calls, says, hey, I got you some money, sue for another year. Why don't they get 6, 7 years? It's absolutely crazy. It's not anybody's fault that you didn't get recruited out of high school, that you had to go to JUCO. Even Joey Aguilar, he went JUCO. I don't think he should get another year, which that would just be his 6th, so he could probably get a year. Kitzelman, one of our best players, he got an extra year because of it. 5 years is all you should get. I don't care if it's JUCO, if you're in college ball, period. 5 years is all you should get. Let me know if y'all agree with me on that. If you don't, tell me why you don't. I mean, hell, we already got 30-year-old receivers at Arkansas. Chris Winkie was like 28 when he played for Florida State. That's because they decided to go play pro baseball and stuff and then decided to go back to college. That's grown men playing against kids. At that point, that's grown men playing against kids. I'm not a fan of that, but I also understand that a little more because they are literally just enrolling in college. The only exception is like BYU. Those guys go on a Mormon mission trip, 2 years. So they're usually like 25, 26 years old before they leave, which is a religious reason. So I kind of understand that. So do y'all think JUCO guys should be able to get a 7th year of eligibility if they spent 2 years in JUCO? Do you think they should get 7 years of eligibility? That's absolutely crazy to me. And I'm a fan of Pavia. Hell, he's ran his mouth. He's backed it up. I'm not really a fan of him. He's a damn good player. He knows he'll never be a pro player, so he's trying to milk the college money for what he can. I don't blame him. I don't think he should be able to, though. He got over $1 million come back this year. That's plenty. You played a Vandy the year before, too, so I know you made some then. My opinion, y'all. I just don't think you should play college ball for 6, 7, 8 years. There's a tight end from Miami who had 9 years because he kept getting injured. I understand getting a year or two extra if you get a season-ending injury every year, but to get 9 years of eligibility because of injuries is absolutely crazy too. And the NCAA just picks and chooses. Like Tennessee had a baseball player this year that was trying to get to play because of some kind of something kind of related like Pavia. Well, he got denied. They just pick and choose who they give stuff to. They always have. It'll never change. That's why the day's coming where the Big Four conferences break away from the NCAA and do their own thing, and it can't come soon enough. Like I said, I like Pavia. He's tough as nails. He's tough as a $2 steak, however you want to say it. But 6 years is plenty in college. He'll be like 25, 26 years old next year. He don't need to be playing college football anymore. That's my opinion. Y'all let me know y'all's in the comment section. Next up, we got this NBC quarterback trust meter. They don't have a lot of quarterbacks on there. And I agree with some of it, and I disagree with some of it. Down at the bottom, you got Arch Manning at very low. As much as I hate to, I agree with that right now. I'm starting to think that Arch is hurt. There's been people asking questions about him having a shoulder injury, and Sarkisian comes with some crazy comeback. There's a video of him like grimacing when he was throwing the football, and Sarkisian was like, "I don't have to see what y'all look like when you're taking a poop." What the hell does that have to do with your quarterback being hurt? He swears Arch isn't hurt, but he's throwing the ball different. It's either he's hurt or his confidence is so low that he's lost all mechanics and everything from that bad game against Ohio State. I'm leaning towards he might be hurt. I didn't think he's going to be all that great anyway this year like everybody else did. I agreed with Steve Spurrier that if he's so great, was going to be a Heisman candidate and the number 1 overall pick, then why did he sit behind Quinn Ewers, who was a 7th-round draft pick? I know coaches will play guys because they're seniority and stuff, but if you got a guy that good, you're not sitting him on the bench or somebody got drafted in the 7th round. You're just not doing it. Garrett Nussmeier, his is low. And I agree with that. I had both of them guys on my most overrated players from the preseason. And they honestly, Nussmeier's been a very big disappointment, y'all. Here's another guy that's talking about could be the best quarterback in college football this year. Was going to be a top pick in the draft, and he's not impressed at all. His defense got him 5 turnovers. They returned 1 for 6. So 4 turnovers against Florida, and he scored 13 points. He led his team to 13 points. Against Clemson, they only scored 17. Against Louisiana Tech, they only scored 23 goals. They brought in Barry and Brown, Nick Anderson from Oklahoma. They went and spent all this money, brought in all this talent, and they cannot move the ball on offense. It's absolutely mind-blowing. It's the reverse opposite of what they've been dealing with in Baton Rouge. Brian Kelly's first few years, their defense was atrocious. They wasted a Heisman Trophy winner in Jaden Daniels. Went 9-3 because their defense was so bad. Now their defense is amazing and their offense can't do nothing. With the quarterback that come back wanting to win a national title who led your offense, who was really good last year. It's mind-blowing. Drew Aller. He was somebody that almost made my list for most overhyped players coming into the season. But they hadn't played anybody yet for me to put him on that list. I might do like a mid-season, late season re-ranking of those. Drew Aller's been overrated since he's been in college, y'all. He's number one quarterback in the country. He looks great against bad competition. Anytime they played a team ranked in the top 15, he's a 53% passer and throws for like 130, 140 yards. He's overrated. He's one of the most overrated players in college football. But I couldn't add him to my list because he hasn't looked overrated yet this year because they haven't played anybody. Like I said, I'll do another list later in the year, and I'm pretty sure he'll probably be on it. Drew Aller, I think he should be lower than Arch or Nussmeier. He should be at the bottom of the guys on this list. Up next, Bryce Underwood. The only good team they played is Oklahoma. He looked terrible. He's 9 for 24. Didn't even have 100 yards receiving. It's not all on him. They don't have any weapons on the outside for him to throw the ball to. Their main weapon last year was Colson Loveland or Loveless. Can't remember quite right this second. He was a dog. He was awesome. He's the best thing they had last year. He's gone. Michigan very rarely ever has a really good receiver. They don't have any right now. So it's not all on Bryce Underwood. But he's a true freshman, and he don't have that great of weapons. I just don't see him having that great of a year. He almost made my list too, but he's a freshman, so I left him off of it. And they've only played Oklahoma so far. He's got a chance Saturday against Nebraska to redeem himself. It's at Nebraska. Nebraska's got a really good defense so far this year. Have they played anybody? No, but they've been one of the best defenses in the country so far, so we'll see. I'm really looking forward. I think that's going to be a hell of a game Saturday. Gunnar Stockton. I think he should go up. I mean, he came in Neyland Stadium, played his ass off. Vols didn't have their top two cornerbacks. You can't make excuses. They come in with a good game plan. They picked on their true freshman. I bet 10 or more of Gunnar Stockton's completions were on our true freshman corner. As I hate to say it, that's just good coaching from Kirby and Bobo. I mean, they seen they had an advantage. They seen we had a weakness. And they took advantage of it. Until we get Jermon McCoy back, more teams might do that. This weekend we got UAB, so hopefully by the time we play Mississippi State, Jermon McCoy will be back. Because then we can move Colton Hood over and have two really good corners. It sucks Ricky Gibson's probably going to miss the year. But if McCoy can get back and Colton Hood stays healthy, that's two lockdown corners still because Colton Hood has played his ass off this year, y'all. If we could have had all three of them, it would have been a no-fly zone. It can still be a no-fly zone because we got Boo Carter as star. Jalen McMurray can play star too. I was getting off subject here, but I was really surprised they didn't try to move Boo Carter out and let him play corner. And maybe move the freshman into nickel or move McMurray into nickel and just have the freshman be the backup to Boo. Or even try McMurray out there and leave Boo at the star. They like Ty Redmond. They bragged about him all offseason. He's a low-rated guy. He's impressed the coaches. And he was there a lot of times. He's just a step off, which is normal for a freshman. I think he's going to be a really good player. But I'd move Gunner Stockton up a little bit. I mean, he come into a raucous environment in Neyland, did enough to get a win. And the Vols played their ass off too, but they left with the win because we missed the field goal. But even if they would have lost and we hit that field goal, Gunner Stockton played a damn good game. I'd move his confidence meter up. Julian saying, I like where he's at. I might have him a little lower. Just because against Texas, he didn't look that great. He didn't even have 100 yards of throwing the ball, but against bad competition, he's looked pretty good. I'd probably have him down there with Bryce Underwood right now in his area. And I'd have Bryce Underwood a little further down. But I'm not going to argue with that one. Dante Moore, I'd have him higher. Dante Moore's looked amazing this year. I mean, they've not played nobody yet, but you can only base their play off of who they played, and he's looked great. Carson Beck. We're going to talk about Carson Beck again here in a minute. A lot of people was doubting Carson Beck after last year at Georgia. He gets Tommy John surgery. Notre Dame, he shredded Notre Dame to pieces. He shredded USF. I know they played somebody else. Can't remember right now because it's a scrub team. He shredded them. Gets another chance on Saturday against the Gators. I'd have Carson Beck up there with John Mateer right now. Where John Mateer is. I wouldn't have John Mateer that high yet just because I'm not a believer in Michigan like a lot of other people are. A little foreshadowing there. Thomas Castellanos. They played Alabama. He did play good against them. He didn't throw the ball that great. He ran pretty good. I can't believe he's that high on this list. He should be down there where Gunner Stockton and Bryce Underwood is. They've not played nobody yet besides Bama. First week of the season. The kid got benched at Boston College. I'm not saying that Malzahn can't do something with him because he reminds me of Nick Marshall at Auburn whenever Malzahn had Nick Marshall. But that's a little excessive for one game to have Castellanos that far up. I'd have him down there where Bryce Underwood is on this list. Drew Aller, until I see him against some competition, better competition again. I think he's extremely high. John Mateer. I'd have him where they got Dante Moore right now. He looked good against Michigan. He had some bad throws, mostly good throws. They ran him 20 times, y'all. That is not a good recipe in any game in the SEC to run your quarterback 20 times. If you got to run your quarterback 20 times against Michigan to get to 24 points against teams like Texas and Georgia and Alabama, teams like that, if you have to run your quarterback like that week in and week out against good competition, it's not going to go good for you. Your quarterback's going to end up hurt. So I'd move Mateer down a little bit. I'm confident in Mateer. But if he has to play the hero every game for Oklahoma to win, it's not going to end good. We're going to get into my 5 most underrated players going into the season. This is no particular order. It's just 5 guys. I got Mr. Timmy from South Park, Carson Beck. Timmy! I doubted him. I was one of them that was doubting him. There's a lot of people doubting him. He's balled out so far. And they played Notre Dame. They just destroyed USF, who beat Florida. Timmy Beck's balled out. Carson Beck, he's looked like a great quarterback. I'm starting to think if you want to look good as a quarterback, the ACC and the Big 12 might be where you need to go. Because Beck struggled a little bit last year in the SEC. Now he's back in a little bit of a weaker conference. He's looking pretty good. But, hey, he did to Notre Dame, but so did Marcel Reed. So is Notre Dame's defense is that overrated this year? Guess we'll see as the season goes on. Everybody's hyping up Notre Dame's defense this offseason. I picked Notre Dame to lose both of them games, but I've still got this guy on my list too. Marcel Reed. He's balled out this year, y'all. He balled out against Notre Dame just like Carson Beck did. He looked good in his other games. He was a lower rated guy. Some people had him as low as 10, 11 in the SEC. And he's looked great this year. So there's another one of my, there's number 2 on my most underrated guys list. Marcel Reed. He showed flashes last year. This year he's been consistent so far. Like I said, probably later in the year I will do another list. And it could look completely different. But 3 weeks in, these guys have outperformed their preseason hype. And this guy as well. Nobody talked about this guy. This guy's freaking played his ass off. He didn't have as good a game against Miami, but against Boise and Florida, this dude was a freaking beast. Breaking tackles, throwing the ball, running. He's just a big, strong quarterback. And I think he's got a lot more really good games ahead of him. I could be wrong, but I thought he looked decent last year at times. It looks like he's took that next step. Nobody had him on their list of players that were going to overachieve or look good this year, so he's on my list. Next up, Sawyer Robertson. He was talked about a little bit, but he was not even talked about in the top 4 or 5 in the Big 12 for most people. And he is absolutely balled out, y'all. He's played his ass off. He's looked really good. He threw for like 400 on Auburn. Threw for 400 on SMU. So he has definitely outperformed his rating from the preseason. And I think Baylor could really surprise people in the Big 12. They already took down SMU. He played his ass off against Auburn. Their defense didn't. But he still played good. Jackson Arnold ran all over him. But he did his part in that game. They just didn't get the win. And last but not least, this would be number 1 on the list. If I ranked them from 5 to 1, this would be the most underrated guy. It's my boy, Joey Dimes from Tennessee. On one of my earlier videos when I started this channel, there's a guy I had him ranked 16th in the conference in quarterbacks, very last in the conference at quarterback. What has he done so far this year? Ball out. He threw for 370 against Georgia, 4 touchdowns. He had 2 picks. One was his fault. Second one, his receiver fell down. He's played his ass off, y'all. He is a top 3 or 4 quarterback in the conference right now. Absolutely. There's every list he was 10th or lower on. I didn't see him any higher than 10th on any list, just in the conference. He's by far a top 10 quarterback in college football right now. It could be higher, but he's at least a top 10 quarterback. So Joey Dimes, my number 1 most overrated quarterback, and that's my nickname for him. If it sticks, it sticks. If it don't, it don't. That's what I call him, is Joey Dimes, because he's dropping dimes all over the field every Saturday. Y'all let me know who you'd have on your list. Do you like my list? Would you change my list? Next up, we're going to talk about my boy. He's out. Raydarius Jackson. He doesn't play a lot, but he got some snaps against Georgia. He's out for probably a month or so with the collarbone issue. We're not very deep at receiver, but our guys that are playing have played their ass off. Chris Brazel, he's a dog. Mike Matthews, he's a dog. We should have caught that pass in overtime, but he's a dog. Braylon Staley's been a dog. We still have some depth there. And we can go to tight end if we need to. Put our tight ends in. We're deep at tight end. Not glad we've lost him, but maybe it'll get Boo Carter some time on offense. He's supposed to play on offense this year. Got in trouble with Heupel. We've yet to see him on offense. The day is probably coming. He'll probably get time on offense eventually. Maybe this week against UAB, they'll work him in a little bit and have him ready for the rest of the conference schedule. I don't know. I thought we'd see him against Georgia, but we didn't need him. The offense played fine. But if the injuries pile up at receiver, we'll need somebody, and Boo Carter's the guy. So Ray Darius Jackson out at least 4 to 5 weeks. It sucks. He's a true freshman. If the receivers stay relatively healthy, he may get a chance to redshirt, which will be good because he's a guy that we're going to need in the future. We got Tristan Keys and them coming in. Tristan Keys, there's a new rankings out. Tristan Keys fell a little bit, of course. A lot of our guys fell a little bit. A couple of them rose. You know the narrative. You commit to Tennessee, you're going to drop in the rankings. That's all there is to it. George McIntyre, prime example last year. 5-star quarterback, commits to Tennessee, drops to like 150th in the country, all because he didn't go to camps, they said. Who cares what you look like in shorts and a T-shirt? I'll cover that more tomorrow on the All Tennessee episode. Last but not least, I want to give a shout out to the Lady Vols, bringing in the number 2 player in the country for the next class. This is 2026 class. They just had the number 1 overall recruiting class in the country coming in for be freshman this year. According to which site you looked at, it was ranked 2 or 1. Number 1 portal class. Already getting a jump start in 2026 class. Number 2 player in the country. The men's basketball team's got the number 2 player in the country on their team this year, Nate Mint. If you don't know, I will be covering basketball too, y'all. I'm a college basketball fan, so I will cover college basketball too. So if you're a college basketball fan, lock in on the channel too. That's going to be all for this episode, y'all. Congrats to the Lady Vols on the big pickup. I appreciate y'all tuning in. If you haven't already, do that YouTube stuff for me. You know what it is. Thumbs up, bell, all. Appreciate y'all tuning in. God bless you. And as always, go Vols.